Oh, hey, I didn't see you guys come in there. Don't you ever knock? Just looking at the Harvey's Deals of the Day menu. Don't mind me. So, I guess, before we get started here, I'll have a glass of my wine. Oh, Canadian gamer, Canadian drunks having a glass of wine. Fuck off. So, in this games room here, we listen to good music. I've got Van Morrison, Moondance up here. And, of course, we watch good movies as well. I just finished watching the Night Shift Collection, which was fantastic. Never seen it before. And I just picked up Mississippi Burning, starring the incomparable William Dafoe and Gene Hackman. So, pretty cool. This VHS has a red front clip on it, the feeding clip. You don't see that all the time. I had, back in the day, way back in the day, Ghostbusters on VHS, and it had a green top clip on the VHS. So if you're hunting for VHS out there, keep an eye out for that one. And I've got on VHS, I think it's Star Trek Generations, and it's like a dark blue VHS. The whole VHS tape is dark blue. Not a great movie, but a cool VHS to have in the collection. So, yeah, obviously, once you get to be my age, you're on the wrong side of 30. If you're out in the dating scene, it's hard enough to woo a female when you've got a collection of video games. So, that in itself can be a challenge. But then when you start collecting running shoes and you're decorating them with LED lights and you're listening to Takeshi 6ix9ine, especially once you get to be closer to 50. I know there's a guy out there we won't go there. Chicks don't want to see that. They want to listen to good music. They want to watch good movies. You put on a little bit of Moondance, you pour a little bit of wine, and you're going to have yourself a good night. So some housekeeping notes here as well, I guess, before we get started on today's rant. And I hate to keep bringing this guy up, but that guy, Smash JT's protege, PK in the Universe, he kept coming by my last couple of videos, and he was basically harassing people in the comment section. He was leaving 6-page long paragraph style notes, just going to town. And I eventually had to tell the guy to stop. I was like, listen, get lost, buddy. Stop harassing my commenters. It's unbelievable, these people. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, when I was at the thrift store today, you guys can check it out here. There was almost like a hybrid video game console from like the 90s on display. And it looks like basically an Amico from the 90s. It comes with like 5 or 6 controllers. The games are on a DVD. You put the games into the DVD player, and it's kind of like, again, digital media, I guess. I didn't really read up on the back of the box exactly how to play the games, but I thought that was kind of funny. Kind of reminded me of the Amico. So today's rant, we're already at the 4-minute mark, so I better get going here. This is going to be pretty off the cuff. I got to be careful how I say things here, because inevitably I'm probably going to offend some people in the community. So I think it was last year, or maybe it was the year before, I posted a video, a very small video, talking about the Arcade1Up, and I didn't think it was going to get the response that it got. I think the video got over 1,500 views, and it seems like most of the views came from, I guess, the Arcade 1Up community. I guess there's a huge cult following for these 1Up machines. What else is new? So I wanted to sort of talk about it today because I was having a conversation with somebody earlier, and we were actually talking about the Evercade console. And while we were talking about the Evercade, the conversation sort of shifted gears into talking about the Arcade1Up. So you guys all know what the Arcade1Up is. I'm not really going to go into great detail in regards to what it is, but I wanted to sort of highlight my experiences with the Arcade1Up and also this other guy's experience as well, because I thought it was kind of funny what he had told me. So the Arcade1Up I remember at the time when I first heard about them, you see the images online, and it looks like, at least from far, it looks like an arcade machine. It's pretty cool. It's got the decals, the graphics, the marquee. I remember I walked into Walmart one day and I went to the back of the store, and they had Arcade1Ups in these big cardboard boxes that they come in. And I noticed like a lot of the boxes were like pretty beat up. Looks like they just got pulled from the transport and thrown on the floor. So they had one cabinet on display. And I've worked in retail before. I grew up in a retail setting. And a lot of times, what'll happen is the manager of the store or the supervisor on duty, they'll tell, like one of the stock boys, hey, can you put one of those together? We need to get it on the floor. So they had, I think it was Street Fighter 2, or maybe it was one that has different versions of Street Fighter 2 all in one cabinet. And the thing, I don't think it was on one of those risers. It was just the height of the 1-up cabinet. And you could tell it wasn't put together properly. Some of the screws were like coming through the, I don't want to say cardboard, but it's like compressed wood. Terrible, terrible, terrible build quality. And I mean, I've seen better build quality from IKEA furniture in their discount section in the warehouse. That's how bad these things are. So I walked up to it, and the thing, when it's not on the riser, you got to get on like your hands and knees to be able to see the goddamn thing. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? So extremely cheap build quality, folks. You could walk up to it and start kicking it with your foot, and you could destroy the thing within moments. So you got to remember, there's nothing inside the cabinet other than a couple of wires, something that resembles maybe a Retro Pi or a Raspberry Pi. So it's very, very weightless. It doesn't have a lot of weight to it, and you can clearly tell these things aren't built to last. You could walk up, you could probably scratch the graphics on it with your fingernail, and it would scratch the paint right off. And there's other minor imperfections too. As you look closer at the cabinets, they're never 100% clean. There's always discrepancies with the way they come right out of the cardboard box that they come in. So I guess what I'm getting at, I don't understand the appeal of these things. They're not built to last. They're fucking expensive. Some of them are like hundreds of dollars. And damn well, like anyone that has an Arcade1Up, talk to me in 5 or 6 years and tell me that thing's not sitting at the end of your driveway waiting for the garbage truck to come by and pick it up. So, the reason why I kind of want to tread carefully is because I talked to someone recently in the community, and he was really excited to pick up the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade1Up cabinet. And I think on that one, you can play 4 players on it. I'm not quite sure. I think it's wider. And he posted a video on it. I think his channel is called SSG Unleashed, I think. And he posted a really good video on it. Really nice guy. And I talked to him a little bit about it. And I'm like, man, those things are so cheap looking. And, he mentioned, well, obviously he has kids. And it's not just for him. It's for the kids as well. And he got it at a discount. So, there's different ways of looking at it. That being said, he posted a video kind of showcasing the cabinet, and he did have his criticisms as well. The guy's over 6 feet tall, and it was pretty funny. You see him, and he's on his hands and knees. He bought the riser for it, and I don't know. You'd have to ask him, about his thoughts if you want to know more. I'll leave a pinned comment with a link to his channel if you want to check out his video. But so anyways, I'm getting off topic here. I talked to a buddy of mine today, and we started talking about the Arcade1Up. Well, he was, and he told me he was able to pick one up recently from a buddy for like $100, and I think it was the Ghost and Goblins cabinet. And he's telling me he's got this thing set up in his basement, and he couldn't stress enough how fucking cheap this thing is. So the thing is so cheap that when his kids are downstairs playing around, horsing around, kicking the ball around, he actually has to tell his kids to be careful, or he has to go down and like physically move the cabinet out of the way, because there's a risk, an inherent risk that one of the kids, while they're horsing around, they might knock the cabinet over, and then if the thing falls over, I know it doesn't weigh a lot, but if it falls onto a child, obviously that could pose a liability, right? So, but yeah, more to the point, if you actually saw one of these things in person, I don't know if you put it together with an Allen key, I don't know what, but like the pieces that you put together, like the panels, they're like this thick. And like I said, when it's not on the riser, forget it. You're not going to be able to play it unless you're on your hands and knees. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's not an accurate representation, obviously, of a real arcade. But yet, you've got these collectors out there that are all hot and horny. Their dick is right up in the air. And they've got, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these fucking cabinets. I know Turbo Joe, he's a big advocate of these Arcade1Ups. I don't know how many that guy actually has. But, if you ask me, even if someone offered to give me one for free, I wouldn't take it. I don't have room for it. And I don't want one. I don't want one in my games room. No way. And I don't like how they say 1-up on them either. That looks really fucking tacky. But that's besides the point. And it's funny too because, and I've seen it before, I haven't really talked about it, but sometimes you'll see it in live auctions. Some of the arcade cabinets, not all, some of the real arcade cabinets out there, especially some of those cabinets from like the 90s that are fairly common, like the Midway cabinets, like I'm thinking NBA Jam, Mortal Kombat cabinets, Cruisin' USA. Believe it or not, those cabinets are quite common, and even to this day, once in a while you'll walk into like a pizza joint and you'll see one of those cabinets still kicking around. They're not terribly expensive, they're not cheap, but you could get one for probably a couple $100, maybe close to $1,000. So it depends on what you're looking for. Yeah, $1,000 might sound like a lot of money, but you're picking up a real arcade cabinet that's got real joysticks on it, and it's got really good build quality. The only issue with real arcade cabinets is they too can be a liability risk. Obviously, they generate a lot of power. A lot of these older cabinets, the wiring can be a little bit fussy. It could be a fire hazard, right? So you got to be really careful. If I had one, I'd probably unplug it if I wasn't using it. Also, as well, I'd probably keep it on the main floor. A big heavy arcade cabinet is a lot of weight on a second floor in a house, kind of like a pool table. You got to be careful with those things. But we're getting a bit off topic here. The Arcade1Ups are absolute fucking trash. I don't know why there's so many people out there that are all hot and horny for these things. They're so fucking cheap. I've seen better quality furniture from Walmart. That's how fucking cheap these things are. I can't stand them. And I don't know why anybody would pay hundreds of dollars for one of these cabinets. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. I could take an Arcade1Up with both hands. I could pick it up and throw it across my driveway, and the thing would shatter into a million pieces. They're not built to last. They're absolute fucking trash. I don't care what anybody says. And hopefully this is just a fad. Hopefully within a couple of months' time or a couple of years' time, that company will go out of business and we don't have to deal with these fucking 1-up cabinets. I can't stand it. So that's going to do it for me. That's my rant. I just wanted to sort of get out there this PSA, if you will, to stay away from these Arcade1Up cabinets. I've seen one firsthand at Walmart. I talked to a buddy of mine that owns one, and he says they're absolute fucking trash. Stay away, guys. Stay away. Stay away from the Arcade1Up cabinets. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good night.